All right, so now we're going to talk about something that's pretty near and dear to my heart. I have had this opinion for a while. The baseball season is coming up. They are currently talking about having a 154 game season. I think it's usually 167, 182 game season, something like that. My light just went out again. Come on. So, the Players Association does not want to go into this 154 game season. This is over at Newsmax. Baseball Players Union expected to reject a 154 game season. The Major League Baseball Players Association is expected to reject a 154 game season proposal from MLB that would have led to the start of the campaign to the pushback a month until April 28th, according to USA Today on Sunday. MLB presented the proposal to the Players Union Friday. The proposal calls for 14 playoff teams instead of 10 and use of the designated hitter in the National League for the second consecutive season. 7-inning doubleheaders and beginning extra innings with runners on second base also would be utilized for a second consecutive season. That's kind of interesting. I didn't know they did that. The proposal calls for players to receive 100% of their pay if the 154-game season is completed and not interrupted by the coronavirus pandemic. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred would have authority to suspend the season due to health reasons, according to reports. Okay, so they're talking about the effect that COVID has on this MLB season, and I am assuming the proposal calls for players to report to spring training March 22nd, about a month later than normal. The delay would allow MLB more time to access the health landscape as well as provide more time for vaccinations. The regular season would end October 10th, 1 week later originally planned, and be followed by a postseason that would stretch into November. The 14-team postseason would call for the first-place team in both the American and National League to have a first-round bye. The union has asserted that the fact there was a 60-game season played to completion in 2020 during a pandemic displayed an entire 162-game season can be played in 2021. So 162 games is what they usually play. So the Players Union is trying to get 162 games and just keep the regular playoffs, I'm assuming. Not enough information there. That's not what I was going to talk about. What I'm going to talk about is when I was working for a ECHL hockey team, the biggest problem with our ability to make revenue was the fact that we had too many games. Okay? I feel this is the same thing for MLB and NBA. The reason that the NFL is so successful is because almost every game has some sort of after effect where down the road, if you don't win this game, it's going to have an effect on the rest of your season. So if they would shorten the seasons with the MLB and the NBA, I think that is the resolution to their problems, rather than adding games, take away games, and make the games more meaningful. So that's what I wanted to talk about there. Not the fact that that the season's going to be shortened, and they don't want that apparently. Apparently they want more games. They just want to play a regular season and probably have just regular playoffs. Not sure why there's pushback on that. They'd still get all of their money if the season is completed. Maybe on the other side, if they do the 162 game season, they're still going to have guaranteed money. If the season isn't completed with the 154 game season, they probably don't get all their guaranteed money. That'd be interesting to see. Hopefully someone from Barstool goes into that, because this is just a jump off point. This is a jump off point. This is where we start, and then you go find a good place to pick it up somewhere else, because we're just like the news, kind of. We're not really the news. We're just kind of the news. We just talk about stuff like we kind of know what we're talking about, but we really have no idea what we're talking about or what we're doing, because my front light went out here. I somewhat look like a zombie. The video quality has gone to shit. And we're just going to talk about some other things that are good to know.